Today we're going to be discussing the nation of evil, Amalek. There are a few ways you could help this effort. One is to click subscribe or like, which is available below. The second, if you'd like to fund one of the episodes or part of one episode, you can go to Go Get Funding. Here's the information. Thanks. Why does God command Amalek be eradicated? How did they become the apotheosis of evil? And why doesn't God just destroy them himself? During Abraham's time, there was a war, and local kings, quote, smote the entire Amalek fields. Esau has a grandson named Amalek who becomes a chieftain. The prophet Balaam calls them the first nation. We're not sure who they are. No archaeological record exists of Amalek. Likely they were nomads roaming the Negev. What happened between Israel and Amalek? In Exodus, Amalek comes to fight against the Israelites. When Moses' arms are lifted up, the Israelites prevail. God is upset, says Amalek must be eradicated. In Numbers, Amalek comes back, this time with reinforcements, Canaanites. They fight and defeat Israel. But it's the Exodus affair that angers God. Let's take a closer look at this. The people want water, and Moses is afraid they're going to kill him. God provides water by asking Moses to strike a rock. Then it says, Vayavo Amalek. Amalek came and warred with Israel in Rephidim. It doesn't seem clear what upsets God. But Deuteronomy sheds some light. It says, remember what Amalek did to you. They smote the people who lagged behind because they were tired and weary. Okay, they didn't fight fair. That's legitimate. But to have God identify you as the epitome of evil from that, it seems a little exaggerated. Let's look again at the Exodus verse. Amalek came and warred with Israel in Rephidim. Vayavo Amalek. Amalek came. Haman from the Purim story is associated with Amalek because he's called Agagi, the Agagite, which was the name for Amalekite kings. When Haman is on his way to Achashverosh for permission to hang Mordechai, it's one of the key moments of the scroll of Esther. It says, Vayavo Haman. Twice in the Bible, when Amalekites came out of their way to kill Jews, this word is used. Haman's goal was genocide. Maybe Vayavo means Amalek's goal was also genocide. We can start to understand a little bit now. They came out of their way, they initiated, their intent was genocide. The text says the Israelites were in Rephidim and complained over the lack of water. Therefore, Amalek wasn't defending their resources, there were none. If you go to war for no military objectives, then maybe this really was about genocide. In the cases of the Edomites and Amorites, both nations send out their armies, vayetze, a different word, to fight, thinking the Israelites would seize their land. They're defending what's theirs. But for Amalek, they seek out, initiate, and start the conflict using terrorist tactics of targeting the weak. Does killing off easy targets merit a campaign of eternal annihilation against them? Edom, Sichon, and Og all were ready to fight, or did fight. Is what Amalek did worse? They targeted the weak and defenseless Israelites. What did they do to the bodies? Did they mutilate them? A Bedouin tactic even in modern times? The Mechilta B'Shalach says that's exactly what they did. Now we're getting a picture. Genocide, preying on the weak, corpse mutilation. These are some bad people. Now we see what upset God so much. There is no mercy or compassion, only blind hatred. But it's more than that. Amalek initiates war without military goals, attacks the vulnerable, mutilates bodies, no compassion for the weak, genocide for one man, Mordechai, not bowing down, vigilante justice. Israel, Torah discourages voluntary wars, protects the weak, takes responsibility for anonymous corpses, love your neighbor as yourself, love the stranger, and has a system of Torah. Both nations emerged from a desert. Israel went in one direction, Amalek went the other way. God is saying Amalek is the complete opposite of what he's trying to build. Why doesn't God just wipe out Amalek? You can't command a society to be merciful and compassionate. The people have to wipe out Amalek themselves. This kind of brutality and ruthlessness may have made Amalek the first nation, but as Balaam said, in the end, he will be lost. Why did God command Amalek be eradicated? They stand for the exact opposite of what the Torah teaches. How did they become the apotheosis of evil? They fought the Israelites simply to destroy, for blind hatred. Why didn't God destroy them himself? To build a just society, you have to do it yourselves. What was overlooked is that Amalek attacked in a place of no intrinsic value. It didn't even have water. Israel was trying to avoid them. Amalek came with the intention of genocide. They picked off the weak and vulnerable. Amalek had no real military goals, just blind hatred. Thanks for watching. See you for the next episode.